Probably some of the hardest days were when I had to pick up his things from the hospital, when they gave me his wedding ring. Just the reality set in of what we were facing.
It was getting worse, and then I got out of the shower, and then after the shower I collapsed on the bed and I couldn't breathe no more.
I could not get him up off of the bed. He was obviously very distressed. He was breathing very rapidly and very shallowly, so we decided that I needed to call 911. His oxygen at that point was 81%. Blood pressure and heart rate were extremely high, and you could tell he was just trying to stay coherent. So they loaded him up in the ambulance and told me they were going to take him to Integris Edmond. And that was the last time we physically were able to see him. After the doctor called and said that they needed to go ahead and put him on a ventilator, he recommended that we FaceTime. I knew fully that this could be the last time that I ever spoke with him. And I didn't put our youngest on, who's 6, who's a daddy's boy, because I didn't want him to see his dad like that.
I was in a coma from February 21st to the 24th of March. They gave me remdesivir and the plasma, and it didn't work, so they had the only other option was the ECMO program, which was only a 40% chance of survival.
An ECMO bed came available and they moved him to Integris Baptist. Even the procedure of placing him on ECMO is very life-threatening. It's very invasive.
My scars, there's right here. This one, the upper one, is where the original ECMO tube was, and I had a bad dream that I was being buried alive, and then somehow it broke.
The ECMO tube had decannulated, so it had come out, and he essentially was just bleeding out.
I went into cardiac arrest, and luckily, by the mercy of God, I was saved.
Once he got off of the second ECMO, they were able to slowly wean him down, bring him out of sedation. Coming out of the coma was very difficult. A lot of hallucinating, nightmares, as he was not coherent. Even though he was restrained, somehow he managed to pull things out. Couldn't speak. I learned to read his lips, you know, because he was just trying to mouth words to me once he was coming to a little more.
The first thing I remember is seeing my wife, and I started breaking down and crying, because I knew God saved me, but I didn't know how it was going to go. All my family got vaccinated, but they said after what happened to me, they weren't going to take a chance. It doesn't discriminate, and you don't know if you're going to be the one to get it or not. I recommend you do it and not even play the chances, because your family depends on it.
Even just to think of protecting someone else, that it's worth it just for that reason to get it. When I received my shot, I can remember sitting in that chair and crying, because I just thought Julio didn't have this chance. What if he could have gotten this vaccination? So do it for the people who didn't have that choice.
Honestly, it was probably easier on me than my family, because my wife was working, taking care of kids, running them around. If it wasn't for my mother-in-law, Becky, I don't know how she would have did it.
One of the last text messages Julio sent me was that he said he wasn't going to give up. And so we weren't going to give up. Our family, our guard family, was a tremendous support. My work colleagues. There's no way to get through something like this without the love and support of other people. And yeah, through God's blessing, I mean, just our faith carries us through still on this journey. I just want to take the opportunity to thank our guard family that helped hold us together through this, that supported me. You know, I became a single parent kind of overnight. The medical staff, the medical professionals that are working during this time are struggling. Many of them have lost hope because of all of the loss that they've had to experience in taking care of patients. They were his advocate because I couldn't be there. And our story they have expressed has given them hope.
It's just a blessing. I'm just so thankful that I'm here.